All right, so here's a check-in with these kittens, you guys. It's been a little while now. We have this scale here that's coming really in handy. This, those of you that saw the video earlier, this was a much bigger mess because it was a lot more intricate of an operation, but I believe this is the last that we'll be using of this. And I'm just going to give you guys a full update here. So these cats, when we got them, you know, we were going off of information that is not complete or scientific. We're just going off of the best that we can gather. We thought that these cats were 8 weeks old and underweight. And one of the people who adopted the cats, she had one of the cats taken to a vet because they all had worms. And she didn't say that the vet disagreed with the age, but now after doing research on our own and just based on their characteristics and their size and the fact that their claws don't go all the way in and they're so tiny, I thought these are closer to like four weeks old. Now that would make them 5.5 weeks really, but I mean, look at how big my hand is compared to this kitten's head. So they're way tiny. So then I called people and I said, hey, we actually think that these are more like, 5 weeks old than the 9 weeks they would be. And one lady said, well, mine died because I took it to the vet and it had worms and then we just couldn't get it to eat. And I definitely can identify with not being able to get them to eat because it has been a struggle for me to get these cats to eat. We did deworm them, and getting them to eat has been using a syringe with the kitten milk, and you've seen some of my videos where I'm not making sense. I don't sound like my normal self because I've been on no sleep. I set my alarm. I get up at 2 a.m. to feed, and then 4 a.m. to feed, and then 6 a.m. to feed, and 8 a.m. to feed, and then I get up and start my workday at 9. So it was a struggle to get them to, and that's, I've only Lord's grace that they were eating even with that because they could just not reject it or throw it up, but they were keeping the food down. But I'll show you guys the difference because she took to the food first. She was really just at her end of her rope and we thought she was close to death. She was at 0.8 pounds and now this is 6 days later. 0.86 pounds was her exact, and now it's 1.186. So, and this is like 4 days of just forcing water, forcing the kitten replacement milk, and then making them eat. This is the food that we wound up using. They love that after experimenting with a bunch of things and even using some human baby food. Don't do that without researching. You really have to be careful, but we did the research and human baby food brought their appetite back. She just weighs so much. And then this one here, you guys, oh my goodness, she's still very light. She's just now out of the woods. So right now she's at 743, 0.743. So that's just a huge difference. This is MeLisa. Her mom's name is Lisa, the white cat. So up until now, she had gone into shock, like hypoglycemic shock. She was sitting there and all of a sudden she just acted like she was going to faint. She fell down. She was on the heating pad. That's also really important that you keep them warm. And I'll show you that in a second too. And she just face planted and she started biting the heating pad like she was trying to nurse from it. And that, after looking into that, it was because she was starving. And even though I was giving her the KMR, I was being too nice about it. I was using this to administer the KMR, and that's like nothing. So if you guys ever see oh, look at this little cutie down here. They're very playful now that they're more healthy. If you guys ever see like a medical drama show or something, you'll see they have that crash cart where if the patient's crashing. Well, this is our crash cart. She went into shock twice, but we're done with that phase. But we had to rub syrup on her gums to even get her to be responsive. Syrup on the gums to get them responsive, and then that's when we actually used this for the KMR because it's so we couldn't just put a whole bunch in her mouth and choke her. And now we use a much bigger syringe to give them more like 5 milliliters. Anyway, so that's how it's been. But as of this morning, so up until yesterday, this little MeLisa kitty cat, it has just been a nightmare to get her to, sorry, I'm allergic to cats actually. But here I am because I have to take care of them. It's been a nightmare to get her to eat, so it was all syringe and a little bit of that cat food she would eat. But now, as of her 3:30 a.m. feeding, she just went for the food. She didn't want the milk, and she ate the amount that we have charted out that she should eat. So I was feeling really happy. I got the first good little nap in at 3:30 to go back to sleep until 6:30, knowing that she had eaten good for the first time and maybe on the road to recovery like this little baby. And so then at 6:30 feeding, same thing. She didn't need the milk. She ate. Come on, we're doing a documentary here, kitty. And yeah, and then at 9 o'clock, it's now almost 10 o'clock. At 9, she did the same thing. She ate way more than I thought. So I think that she's going to do the same as this one and just fill out and plump up, and they should be ready to be rehomed soon. And they've already been wormed. Whoever gets them will need to do a wellness check. Everybody that gets an animal that they're unsure of needs to get a wellness check. And we tell people that. Oh, and then why is there a computer in my bathroom? Well, cats can't regulate their heat when they're this young. And I live in the Houston area of Texas. I actually live in a nice community in Spring, Texas, which is a suburb of Houston, I guess, an unincorporated area. I think that's where we are. Anyways, it's very hot here right now. Like, I can't go out and ride my bicycle if I want, and I feel bad for people that do labor for a living because it is hot out there. Which means in my house, we've got the air conditioner going on, which makes this bathroom super cold. Not like a blizzard, but it keeps it at about 74, and that's not very good for these kittens. So I closed off the vent. I know you can't close them off all the way or you wind up hurting your HVAC, so don't worry about that part. I researched it. I had the heating pad. It turns off every 2 hours. I was feeding them every 2 hours, so that means I would come in and cycle that. But it still isn't very good. So this is just one of my file servers. I do IT for a living, and I have a lot of computers that are in the house, usually tucked away under beds and stuff, that all have jobs, but they always heat the room up. So I brought it in here, and so that thing is just chilling in the bathroom, keeping it. So now I got my little Walmart thermometer that I went and bought just for these cats. So now it's always 80 degrees in here. So that's really helped in aiding their recovery, that it's always warm, because if it's below 80, if it's down at even 79, their bodies are working to keep them warmer. So they're burning off the precious calories that you're feeding them. And if they're struggling to eat and then they're burning off calories at the same time, it's really an uphill battle. So anyway, there is my extended video for today. Oh, and then the other good news is their mother, Lisa, you guys familiar with the channel know that their mother is in the vet. She's getting released today also. So she'll come back and these kittens won't be there. They were going to die anyway. That's another reason I forgot to tell you guys why we think that they're not 8 weeks old. With the worms, they wouldn't have made it to 8 weeks old. They would have died, is what I've been told. So anyway, they've been dewormed. I'm going to reach out and ask the clinic that had the mother if they dewormed her, and if not, I'll try and figure out a way to do that. But yeah, anyway, so that is the story, and I will post the clinic that helped her. I don't remember the name of them. Harris County Pets, I believe. They had corresponded with me through email. Really nice letter. I'll put a copy of that on our community page for those of you that are not just seeing this for the first time, but you actually follow the whole adventure of all these cats as we've been capturing, trapping them, neutering, spaying, returning, rehoming, etc. All right, Pew Paws out.